Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a pregnancy related video. As soon as I announced my pregnancy, basically I asked you guys to submit questions about my first trimester, and I also told you that I would share my first trimester must-haves, things that have really been helpful for me. Hopefully you guys are excited about this video, those of you who are interested in mom content, pregnancy content, all of that. And if you did just find my channel because you're searching for first trimester must-haves or questions, then hello, my name is Kayla. I make videos on like fashion, lifestyle, beauty, and now motherhood and pregnancy as well. So I would really love it if you would subscribe down below. You can also follow me over on Instagram to learn a little bit more about me in a quicker manner. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say in the beginning of this video. So I hope that you guys enjoy it. We're gonna start with the Q&A and then I'll get into my must-haves. So I will have like timestamps so you can kind of only watch one or the other if you're just more interested in that. As I mentioned, this video is going to be about my first trimester. I am now in my second trimester. I am 16 weeks and 2 days right now. Yeah, so let's just dive into the questions that you guys submitted on Instagram. Okay, so the number one most asked question is how long did it take to get pregnant once we started trying? Just a little backstory about my pregnancy, because I do think a lot of these questions are kind of related. My husband and I got pregnant in January and we experienced a missed miscarriage in February, and I had a DNC surgery. I do have a video about my miscarriage and DNC surgery if you're interested in that or hearing more about my experience with that. So a lot of people want to know how long after my DNC surgery did it take for me to get pregnant again? And for us, it happened right away as soon as we did start trying again. And I know that's not probably the answer that a lot of you wanted to hear, because I know a lot of you that sent in questions are struggling with conceiving and possibly dealing with infertility issues. And trust me, my heart goes out to you because I know how freaking heartbreaking that can be. Why am I already getting emotional? This was not supposed to be an emotional video, but I guess that's just pregnancy for you. Ooh, you never know when the tears are gonna hit. For our particular situation, we actually got pregnant the very first time that we tried. We tried in December, found out we were pregnant in January. The next time around, I think I had my DNC surgery in February. I definitely was waiting until I got my period to try again. I also needed some time to emotionally process. That was just a lot for me. I know some women are just able to jump back into it, but that was not me. I was scared to death. I had to be sure that I was in a place mentally and emotionally that if this were to happen again, would I be okay? So with that being said, we did wait I think 2 or 2.5 months. When I got my period, I just knew I wasn't ready. So I waited a second period. I think at that point is when we started trying. So it was around May that we tried and found out in June. And then other people just asking for like any tips. I don't really have any tips. Like I said, conceiving wasn't necessarily the issue for us. I never thought that we would get pregnant on the first try both times. But what I will say, if you are having trouble conceiving, I'm sure a lot of you already do this, but tracking your ovulation, if you don't already, is so important, and just really getting in tune with your body. After going through my miscarriage and having doctors say, are you sure of your dates? Are you sure of your dates? Blah, 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 blah. I wanted to be sure of my dates, even though I was pretty sure last time, but this time I really wanted to be sure of my dates. You know what I mean? So I started tracking my ovulation. I mean, I did it through an app for months and months and months, but the month that we did end up conceiving, I actually was tracking my ovulation too with these little strips. So I'll talk about both of these things really quick right now. The first thing is a period tracker app or an ovulation tracker. The one that I use is called P Tracker. I'll have the logo here just so you are sure you're getting the correct one. But basically there is a calendar and you put in your period. If you know, for instance, okay, we're gonna start trying in November, then I would track your period and stuff in October and even September if you can. And then the app will kind of learn the length of your cycle and it'll be able to better predict your fertile window. Then you can also track days when you were intimate and once again be sure of those dates. And then it'll tell you your fertile window. It'll give a little green dot period of when you're fertile, and then it'll have a little flower to predict your ovulation day. An app like this is amazing. This worked for me both times getting pregnant, is just using the app. The ovulation day that predicts, of course, can be off a little bit, but it still doesn't matter too much. You know, you can still get pregnant just in your fertile window, not necessarily on your ovulation day. And a lot of people use that to not get pregnant also. Like if you don't want to be on birth control, just remain abstinent during your fertile window or use other forms of birth control. If you are already doing that and you're still having trouble and you really want to know when you're ovulating, your peak fertile days and all of that, then I really recommend these. These are the Pre-Mom Easy at Home Ovulation Test Kit. And these are going to be good if you are struggling with infertility and trying to conceive. These are going to be for you. This comes with 50 ovulation tests and then 20 HCG tests, or basically pregnancy tests, which is really nice because if you are struggling to conceive and you're testing every single month, you don't want to buy these expensive pregnancy tests. These are good to start with. So basically what you get is a couple of pamphlets on how to test, and then you get all of the ovulation tests and then the pregnancy tests as well. I'm not going to open one up, but it's basically a urine strip. If you've ever tested for ketones or anything, it's just like the little strip and then you dip it in a cup of pee. The pregnancy test is pretty self-explanatory. Like if it has 2 lines, then obviously, you know, whatever. The ovulation test is a little bit more difficult, but it has instructions all right here, and they have an app. So you can scan this little barcode on the side, download the app, and actually upload a picture of your strip, and it'll tell you if you are highly fertile, moderate, low, or if you're ovulating. So yeah, these are really cool if you just want to be more in tune with your body and track your ovulation a little bit better. Then these are cool. For me, I could tell when I was ovulating due to my discharge, which I know we're getting into like really TMI stuff now, but this is stuff once you go through pregnancy or trying to get pregnant, like nothing is off limits, you know what I mean? Like we talk about it all, but I just wanted to mention this in case you just weren't sure. But I knew the day I was ovulating or like the day before and the day of, because my discharge would be like literal like stretchy balls, which it is so gross. But you know, hopefully if you're watching this part about trying to conceive, you are a woman. But yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you've ever had that, but they're literally, it's like it'll come out in clumps that look like stretchy mucus or something, and that means you're ovulating. So if you see that in your underwear throughout the day, then you're probably ovulating. So that's just another thing for me. I had that and knew exactly the day I was ovulating. So anyways, that is the only tips that I would give. Another question that I get often is, did I change anything? And the answer is absolutely not. I know a lot of people do, and that's awesome. There have been so many women who have been able to conceive due to changing their diet or cutting out certain things in their diet or whatever. For me, that just wasn't the case. I didn't really change anything. I would have if I had trouble conceiving, but we just thought, you know, we'll try, see what happens. And I just didn't really end up having to do that. Another question that I got a couple times is, do you know the gender and how are you feeling? Yes, we know the gender. I did film the entire gender reveal, so that video is up on my channel if you are interested in watching. But we are having a baby girl and we are so excited. It's still like so surreal to me, you know, like why am I so emotional today? What the heck? One of you, I'm sure you're probably watching this video, but one of you commented and said something about like, wow, this is full circle. I remember in one of your Q&As a couple years ago, you talked about when you do try to get pregnant that you wanted a girl because you and your mom are so close. I don't know, it made me emotional just reading that comment. So to whoever wrote that, thank you so much for leaving that comment. I don't know, it just made me emotional because I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. And that is still how I feel. Like my mom and I are very close and I'm just so excited to get to raise a daughter, and I don't know, just teach her everything that I have learned about being a strong and independent female and having a voice and going after her dreams. And like, I live for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I live for empowering women. You know what I mean? Like, that's my brand. That's literally my brand, and all things girly. And I just couldn't be more excited. And me and my mom are really, really thrilled to get to do all the cute, fun, girly things also. That leads me to, how many babies do you want in total? I would say 3. I think Patrick and I are pretty set on 3, but we'll see. Honestly, it'll really just depend on how I feel. I'm the kind of person that I think I really could be happy with 2. It's an even number. Or I could be happy with 3. That's how my family was, and I really enjoyed that. Or if I'm like feeling good about pregnancy, childbirth, and being a mom, and I feel like we're stable enough and like our family's not complete, I could even see having 4, just because Patrick's family had 4, and I think, you know, that's what he's used to. It really just depends, but definitely no more than 4. I would say most likely 3. Will you be sharing the baby with us? And I definitely will. I definitely want to have a fine line. I'm just still trying to figure that out. I absolutely want to share my life. That's what I've always done, and I don't want to stop making content. And I know once I have baby girl, my life is going to be revolving around that for just at least a few months. And I still want to create content, so I do think a lot of that is going to be like day in the life vlogs and stuff like that. I'll absolutely be sharing baby with you guys and my life as a new mom. I don't want to stop doing fashion content and beauty stuff. That is what this channel's always been about, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna combine everything into one channel. But I don't know, I could switch up and decide to do a vlog, like mommy vlog channel. I'm just not sure, and I really need your guys' input on this. Same channel, different channels, I don't really know. I'm still undecided, but I know I definitely want to keep my fashion and beauty stuff because that's what I love to do, and that's like what I'm passionate about, and I don't want to lose myself in becoming a mother. But I absolutely will show baby with you, day in the life with a newborn, stuff like that. How did you know you were ready to try again? I kind of touched on this, but I really don't even have a set answer other than like, it's just a feeling. You know what I mean? Like, after my first period, I would tell my husband, because I think the man, they don't really like, of course they go through it emotionally, but I would say not as emotionally as the female does. Physically, they don't go through anything, you know? So he was kind of like, just let me know when you're ready. So it was just kind of like a month by month thing. And I eventually was like, I think I'm ready to try again. And I also have been in therapy with BetterHelp, and I talked to my therapist about trying again. And she asked me the hard questions, like, if this does happen again, because it is a possibility, are you gonna be okay? How are you gonna handle that? That sort of thing. So I think those things helped, and just, I'm the kind of person that talks about my feelings like all the time, and I know most people are not like that, but I highly encourage you to start training yourself to be like that. I'm not saying all the time, but it is the most healthy thing you can do, is to talk about how you're feeling. I don't care if you're doing therapy, making your husband be your therapist, or not even therapist, but listening ear, making your mom your best friend. Somebody has got to be listening to you talk about your feelings. Such an amazing way to process. Talk to a freaking camera, you know, like I do. Like, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, talk through it with yourself, with your spouse. I think you'll just know, honestly. Like I mentioned, even in my miscarriage video, like, things about pregnancy are going to be different. Are you okay with that? Are you ready for that? Because trust me, it is so much worry and anxiety being pregnant after a loss. And I think once you feel emotionally okay to start that process again, then you're good. Another question I got was like, how long did my doctor tell me to wait after my surgery? Literally everyone tells you something different. My main doctor told me 1 cycle. My other doctor that I was seeing, or she's actually a nurse practitioner, but I saw her a lot, she told me 2 cycles. Another question I got a lot is, did you have more appointments with your doctor because of your miscarriage? And no, not really. We were able to schedule an early ultrasound, which honestly, I don't know if I would do again, really. It made me so happy, don't get me wrong. That was at 7 weeks, and we saw a little baby, and it was just the best thing ever. We cried and we were very emotional, but 7 weeks is still very early. And in my realist mind, and not only being a realist, but also having having the pregnancy after loss anxiety, my mind would constantly tell me 7 weeks is early. That doesn't matter. Like, that's how nasty your mind gets after loss. Is just, you think that after every appointment, you're like, oh, after that appointment, I'll feel better. I don't feel better then, but after the next one, I'll definitely feel better. Not to be that person or not to be negative, but it's just really not true. And it's so exhausting. But yeah, so I really don't know if I would do the 7-week appointment again. I think I would really wait until 10 weeks just because your chances go down, of course, each week. But yeah, really that's the only additional thing, or not, I wouldn't even say additional, but it was just an option. We had to do it earlier. At least at my doctor, they don't make me come in for extra appointments. I think for me, it was because I've only experienced one miscarriage. I think if there were multiple miscarriages and this was beginning to look like an underlying issue and not just a random miscarriage, then they would definitely have you do more appointments and more testing and all of that. But I didn't, just because it was kind of an off the wall thing. Even after my DNC surgery, they tested the tissue and everything was normal. So I think that's why. But no, I've had normal appointments. We had our 7-week, and then from there, we just go in every 4 weeks. I did schedule a private ultrasound myself, so we paid for that, and I loved doing that. It was the best decision ever. Made me feel so good seeing baby dance around in my uterus. It was just the coolest thing ever. So no, we didn't have extra appointments, but we did make one extra appointment privately. Another person asked if I am having the same doctor that I did last time, and the answer is yes. I really like my doctor. She's who performed my surgery, and she was super sweet and everything. So yes, I'm having my same doctor, same clinic, of course. I'm still not like super fond of the ultrasound technicians, and I'm sorry, like no shade if you're an ultrasound technician. I know it's your job, but like just the ones there are just like not very friendly. Someone says, how did you tell Patrick? I got a couple questions like that, which I mentioned in the video announcing our pregnancy, but this time we just looked together because I was tracking ovulation. Like, we both knew we were trying and what was going on and whatever. And just like given the situation, I kept saying this whole pregnancy, like I don't want to make it a big production, because honestly, if you've experienced pregnancy after loss, every little thing you feel like you don't want to get your hopes up or you don't want to jinx it is a lot of times how I felt. So Patrick and I found out together. I didn't want to keep it a secret and do this big old surprise and all that. How are you handling the emotions? Another one said, how has your anxiety been this pregnancy? Also pregnant after loss in March and so nervous. And it's very, 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 very hard. My anxiety has been through the freaking roof. A lot of times I don't talk about it really with anybody except my husband, and like I'll just casually mention it here and there. It's just weird because some days you'll feel like really good and just taking it day by day, and then other days you will literally like start bawling your eyes out of nowhere. Like, that happened to me a couple times, and especially for me, what it was like any fluctuation in symptoms, which is literally not a sign of miscarriage because symptoms fluctuate all the time. So yeah, I can't tell you it's gonna be easy because it's not. On top of that, pregnancy just does things to our hormones, our emotions, and everything. You don't feel like yourself sometimes when you're pregnant. Like, after my miscarriage and everything like that, just going through that emotionally, like I just was not myself, and I haven't been very motivated. I've just been like out of it this whole year. It's a lot to have to go through first trimester, have a miscarriage, and then get pregnant and be in your first trimester again, where you are literally, you're not yourself. You're nauseous, you're tired, your emotions are going crazy, your body is changing, like everything. It's just a lot. It's a lot for a person to go through. I think once you get out of that first trimester, you will feel a little bit better. And then once you start feeling kicks, I've heard that you feel a lot better, which I'm so excited about. For me, a Doppler has been a lifesaver. I freaking love our Doppler. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit in the must-have section, but this thing really has made my anxiety so much better. I had to switch on my battery really quick, but I was just saying the anxiety definitely doesn't really go away, but there are things that you you can do to try to manage it. My husband helps a lot. I would just text him if I was feeling some type of way. He would call me and just talk through it with me, or like come home. And also, like, I talk to my mom a lot. I think too, what helped me on those days when I had a breakdown was I would just tell myself, there is literally nothing I can do about it right now. And that is so hard for me. That's a lot of the reason why I had anxiety, is because I don't have any control in the situation. It's so crazy growing this other human and having a baby inside you, but you can't see it at all times, you know, like you can never see it till like a couple times throughout your pregnancy when you have ultrasounds, and then, you know, after you give birth. And it is really hard because you're like, some days you're like, is there really something growing inside me? Like, doesn't feel like it. And that can be really difficult. But I would just tell myself, like, physically there's nothing I can do. So why am I crying about it? Why am I stressing about it? Like, there's been no signs that something is wrong. And until there is, there's nothing I can do about it. And the very last question, which I will finally get into, is pregnancy symptoms. So pretty much like any symptom you can think of, I probably had it. I was very nauseous. I had like that constant seasick feeling, but never threw up. But I think I could have thrown up. I hate throwing up. So I just always like held it in and tried to do things to make myself less sick so that I wouldn't vomit. My nausea didn't really hit until like 8 or 9 weeks. And then it lasted pretty heavily through 11 weeks. And then from 11 to like 15 weeks, it was just kind of like on and off, hit or miss. And now I'm 16 weeks and most days I feel good and I can eat, you know, pretty much whatever I want. I do have times where I do feel nauseous though, still just randomly. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. But also in first trimester, exhausted, you guys, like just exhausted, like all the time. I could literally get up in the morning, be up for 2 hours, and then be absolutely wiped out, exhausted. And I would take a lot of couch naps. I work from home, so I was kind of able to do that with my work schedule. That was the main symptom for me, was just my total lack of energy. And it really did not get better until probably two weeks ago. So around 14 weeks, like second trimester, I gradually got my energy back. And then like last week, I was feeling pretty good. This week, I'm feeling normal as far as energy. So that is so nice, because like I said, this whole year I have felt a lack of motivation and a lack of energy, and I hate it. That is just so like not me. I'm just so happy to have my energy back. Other first trimester symptoms, very crazy vivid dreams. I touched on that when I was talking about finding out I was pregnant. Like this one I still remember. One of my best friends, Amber, who I'm sure she's watching this video, she was in the dream. I think it was my house, but it was like smaller, and there were these dogs that like kept getting in the house and I couldn't get them out of the house. And I was like, oh my God, like it was a Great Dane, like these huge dogs, they kept showing up in the house, and it was like so windy, I couldn't shut the door. And then Amber and her mom came down, and I was like, where did you guys come from? And they were like, oh, we live right upstairs. And there was like an attic where they lived. It was so crazy, just the weirdest, craziest, most vivid dreams. And that is the dream I had. And I woke up and I was like, that seems like a pregnancy dream, because I remember that from January. Another symptom that I got right away is just like the smell of different things. Heartburn, pretty bad. That's kind of increased more so in the second trimester, is heartburn and migraines, like headaches a lot. Sore breasts, I did not really have in the first trimester. So in January when I found out I was pregnant, I had really sore boobs. Like Patrick couldn't even hug me, you know, and I would be like, oh my gosh, that hurts so bad. And then this pregnancy, I didn't have that. So before I tested, I was like, I really don't think I'm pregnant because I don't have sore boobs. Like there's just no way. But I was pregnant, and I haven't really had sore boobs until now. In my second trimester, I'm kind of getting that. But I would say like midway through my first trimester, I got like sore nipples. Like only my nipples would be sore, not really my boobs. So anyways, that's the symptoms that I had. Let's move into the must-haves. But number one is of course a water bottle, you guys. It is so important to drink water. It can literally be the fix for all things. I know some people have like an aversion to water when they're pregnant, but if you are able to drink it, definitely get you a large water bottle. This one is from Stanley. I recently got it and I really like it. It's 40 ounces. I like that this one I can take wherever. It fits in my car cup holder, keeps my water cold literally all day long, even in the hot summer sun or like sitting in my car all day, my water will still be cold. This is another option for a water bottle. I love this one too. This one is for those of you who want a little bit of a bigger option so you don't have to refill it as much. This one is 50 ounces. It's from Amazon. All of this will be linked down below, but this one is really nice. I'm gonna go back and forth between these two. If I'm around the house, this is what I prefer, but if I'm on the go, this is what I prefer. So really just depends. If you do have an aversion to water, or if you just feel overly dehydrated, you're getting headaches, whatever, definitely try some liquid IV. I've been doing a lot of liquid IV while I am pregnant. I work with liquid IV, so I do have a coupon code. If you guys are interested, it's like my Instagram name. I'll put it right here. I'm not even just saying this. I genuinely love it. I know some people don't like the taste. I love it. My husband loves it. So we use this stuff all the time. This is a new bag that I haven't unpackaged yet. It's golden cherry. Any of their cherry flavors are the best. So good. Also love the grape. Lemon lime is good if you have like an aversion to like anything that's like strong, or the acai berry is really good. So yeah, lots of options, but this is basically a powder that you put in a glass of water, and it's giving you 3 times the hydration than just a normal glass of water would because of all the electrolytes in it. Probably the next must have is a prenatal vitamin. So when I very first got pregnant in January and this time around, I was taking the Nature Made Prenatal Multi Plus DHA. So this one has a ton of nutrients. So if you can stomach this, it's a really good prenatal to have. And it's like just over the counter, pretty affordable. And it comes with 150, and you only need to take 1 per day. That is what they look like. They are very fishy smelling. I do not like the smell of them or the taste of them. So eventually I did switch to the Ritual Essential Prenatal for women. And these come with 60 capsules. These have really clean ingredients, like very clean. And they do have DHA as well, which was super important to me, and folic acid. You do take 2 of these a day, which I don't mind because they are a little smaller than the other ones I showed you guys. And these kind of have a lemon flavor to them, like a little bit citrusy, so they don't taste as bad. And then I also take a calcium supplement. This is the Nature Made Calcium, just very basic. Taking a calcium supplement is recommended if you don't eat a lot of dairy, and this is 220 tablets, and I literally have been using this last pregnancy and this pregnancy, and I'm still not out of it. So they don't taste the best, but you know, it is what it is. It's good for baby. My next pregnancy must have is a pregnancy pillow, and I bought this as soon as I found out I was pregnant, in my first pregnancy actually, because I always slept with a body pillow and put my knees around it and like hugged it and that sort of thing. So a pregnancy pillow is like my jam. I don't even know if I'll stop using it. They're just so comfy. Once you get out of your first trimester, they say it's not necessarily healthy for the baby to sleep on your back because baby doesn't get enough oxygen or blood flow or something like that. So I've had to really see which pregnancy pillow is best for me. This is the one that I love the most. Here's what it looks like. This one is a U-shape pillow. So here's what the top looks like. It's just a big old fluffy top. It does have a zipper so you can take the cover off. Here is technically where you're supposed to like put your head and like lay on it like that. As you can see, it's like shaped all funny. I actually use it the opposite way. So I put this part at the bottom, like where my feet are, and then I snuggle this part so that I can use my own pillow. Because if you had this part at the top, this would be your pillow, which it is very soft, but I just like having my own pillow. So yeah, I just put that part at my feet and then snuggle with this part, and it gives you back support because it has the cushion on the other side. So yeah, lots of cushion. I love this thing. It's so soft, and like I said, you can wash the cover. It's great. It's my favorite. My next must-have is absolutely my baby Doppler. I freaking don't know what I would do without this thing, to be honest. And I know these are very controversial because some people say they cause more anxiety. If you can't find baby's heartbeat, yes, they can cause more anxiety. But once you learn how to like find your baby's heartbeat, game changer. I freaking love this thing. It's so cool listening to their heartbeat, and it just gives me so much peace of mind. If I have any little like cramp or whatever, look for baby's heartbeat. I don't use it every day. Some people do use it every day. Some people people say their doctors have told them it's okay to use every day. A lot of ultrasound techs have commented on posts that I've seen and said like, because it's so small, like it's not causing that much harm. I use it probably like every few days, like twice a week probably. So I got it on babydoppler.com. I will link it down below. It comes with a small tube of ultrasound gel. I ordered it around 10 weeks. I would not try to find your baby's heartbeat before 10 weeks. And even at 10 weeks, you need to know it's going to be hard to find. It's going to be so small. I mean, baby's heart is like literally this big. So if you can't find it at 10 weeks, no worries. I actually thought I found my baby's heartbeat at 10 weeks, and my husband and I were like, oh my God, look, this is so cool, haha. And come to find out, like literally probably like 2 weeks later, I realized that was my heartbeat the whole time. And we had never been listening to baby's heartbeat. It was my heartbeat the whole time. With that being said, you do need to make sure you know the difference between your heartbeat and your baby's, because you do have two places down near your pelvis where you can hear your heartbeat, and that's typically on the side, but baby's typically going to be more towards the center is what I found. I'm going to link a girl's video that I found so helpful. That is how I found my baby's heartbeat. How I realized I was not listening to baby's heartbeat, I was listening to mine, is that they have this app called Baby Doppler app. So you basically download the app and you can record your baby's heartbeat. So once you find it on this, you record it like from July 24th to August 9th. All these crazy readings. It would be like 92 beats per minute, 77, 63, 85, which it can vary. Definitely it can vary. It's not going to be 100% accurate, but I just got to thinking, I was like, that's crazy. Like there's no way that it would just be varying that much and say it's that much lower than what it is. So I finally looked up a YouTube video and I found this girl's video that I'm going to link down below. She played her heartbeat and was like, that's yours. It's slower, blah, blah, blah. And then she told where to go for baby's heartbeat. And she, you know, played the sound of that. And it was just so helpful. Definitely recommend checking that out if you are having trouble with it. And then once you get it, yes, the heartbeat varies, but you can see when I found baby's heartbeat from August 9th all the way to today, it's like 152, 149, 150, 146, 147, 149, 150. It's all like upper 100s or whatever. I'll play baby's heartbeat. So as you can see, it's still like faint and kind of muffled, but it works and you can hear it, and it definitely picks up the beats per minute. I ran out of gel, so I ordered just some other gel on Amazon. You can also use aloe vera. I've heard of people doing that, but this is just conductive ultrasound gel. It came in a 2-pack on Amazon. Another must-have for me has been these True & Co bralettes or bras. As your boobs are growing, maybe they're sore. Like I said, my nipples were sore. Bras have just been very uncomfortable. That's why I ordered a few more of these, because this is the most comfortable thing that I've ever put on my body. You have to get this exact style though. It's the True & Co True Body Lift V-neck bra. I get an extra large, and these things are amazing, you guys. Don't get the ones with the skinny straps. Get the ones with the like the inch thick strap. It has like bra pads built in there, but yeah, just such a comfortable bralette. The material is so soft and silky and stretchy. I'm gonna literally live in these like right now and probably postpartum. Like I said, I ordered 3 new ones. They are a little bit pricey, but that is all I wear. The next thing I want to talk about is a couple of apps, because honestly, that is probably my next most used thing. I get on this app every single day, and it is just the What to Expect app. I love it. I downloaded this the moment we found out we were pregnant both times, and it has just been my lifeline. It is amazing. It is basically an app that you can track baby size with. I just pulled it up and I'm 16 weeks, 2 days, and it says baby love is as big as an avocado. You can click on baby, see what baby's up to and how they're growing this week, see how your body's growing. It gives you a daily tip. It tells you your common symptoms each week, which is really cool. And then my favorite part is the community tab. Basically, once you download it and put in your estimated due date, it'll add you to a group with people who are also expecting around the same time as you. And it's just so helpful. All the women in there just talk about what they're feeling, ask questions, just have fun discussions. I always tell my husband, it's like an entertainment for me, because some people put like the craziest stuff on there, like about family drama and whatever. Even for me, during my miscarriage, I used this app so much because they actually have a miscarriage support group, a pregnancy after loss group, grief and loss group, first pregnancy group, rainbow baby group, like all sorts of groups. And you can just really connect with people that have gone through similar things to you. Another app that I have that I don't really use that much is Pregnancy Plus. This one I don't really use very often. It's kind of strange. The only thing that I do like about it though, each week when I like hit a milestone, it's kind of cool to just go and see, because it has like such a real life picture of baby. So that's kind of cool just to see like what your baby kind of looks like in the womb. But other than that, that's really the apps that I use. I also want to talk about pregnancy books or journals. I literally have a ton here and I did not buy all of these, so please don't think that I'm crazy. Most of these were gifts. First, speaking of the What to Expect app, I also have the What to Expect When You're Expecting book. It's like so much information, so if you are like not a reader, I wouldn't get this. A lot of the information can be found in the app. This just goes in like a lot more detail. I like it. I read it a little bit here and there like each week. It tells you basically everything. Like if you are worried about like getting an x-ray, it'll tell you like about that, or going to the dentist. It'll tell you just like in so much detail about everything. Working out, elevated blood pressure, vaginal discharge, lots of good information there. It is a fun book to have. You know, it's something that you can kind of pass down to someone you know who's pregnant once you don't need it anymore. So the only other one that I actually bought was this baby journal called The Story of You, and I got it in this really cute gold animal print. But this one is super cool. It gives you all sorts of information about your first trimester. You can write a letter to baby, put baby names that you're thinking about, put family photos, how you met, about you and your spouse, about your pregnancy. Gives you sample exercise and diet plans. Has a baby shower gift log, which is nice, a registry suggestion, maternity leave, questions to ask your doctor, birth plan, all sorts of stuff. And then it actually has a weekly calendar in here as well, so you can track like your meals, your water intake, exercise, whatever you want. It also has a place to track baby's doctor's appointments. And then it also has a whole section like when your baby's born. It goes through their first year. It has like a feeding tracker, baby milestones, sleep tracker, and then more calendars. So that's kind of cool just to kind of keep a planner and baby stuff in one place. Then we have other little books too. My mother-in-law got us this one. It's called I'm Praying for You, and this one is kind of like a weekly journal. Well, it's a weekly journal, but it has a scripture in here daily that you can read. You can write, you know, how you're feeling or whatever, prayers. This one's definitely like more spiritual focused. And my mom got us this one. It says Welcoming Our Little One. This one just kind of goes week by week, and you can put like how you're feeling, which I think is just a cool tracker for me. You can add photos each week, so I will eventually print out like my bump progression photos and put them in here. I think that would be kind of cool. And then you can put pictures of your nursery, the baby shower, and birthday details. So that one's kind of cute, and this one is like a very minimalistic approach, like just very black and white, which I kind of like. And the last one is from my sister-in-law, Heather, and this one is kind of cool. It's another pregnancy journal, but it has, I don't know, just more unique stuff, just kind of more fun stuff, I guess. Like it has lots of places for letters to baby, little things where you can like circle how you're feeling. It even has little adult coloring pages, so I love that. Another must-have is any sort of lotion and oil for your belly. I've already gotten 2 pretty big stretch marks, which really sucks, but I've been using oil and lotion and stuff. But honestly, stretch marks are one of those things that's just genetic, so unfortunately it is what it is. My mom had bad stretch marks also, she said. So yeah, but I'm still gonna do this stuff to try to prevent them. My mom got me a little set and I've purchased a couple things. So the oils that I have, one is by Palmer's. This is the cocoa butter formula skin therapy oil. It's good for scars, stretch marks, damaged skin, blah blah blah. This one I use probably the most. I keep it at my bed and I really like the texture of this. It doesn't doesn't smell weird. So yeah, I really like this one from Palmer's. I also have this Burt's Bees Nourishing Body Oil. This one kind of has like a strange smell. That's the only thing that I don't really like about it. And it's a little bit like less oily, like it's harder to rub in, I would say, than this one. But I still use this. This one I keep in my bathroom. And then the other one that I have is the Belly Elasticity Belly Oil. I just heard someone recommend this, so I got it. And this one I've traveled with a lot. Honestly, I haven't used this one too much. Let me know if you've tried any of those. And then the lotion that I use is the Burt's Bees Mama. This is the only belly butter that I use. I have 2 jars of it actually, one in my bathroom, one by my bed. And this stuff is really nice. I love this stuff. So highly recommend that. Okay, some other things that I got on Amazon that have been helpful. First of all, these Preggy Pop Drops. These are really great for nausea. As you can see, I still have a lot left, so I didn't use these a ton, but they were really nice for just like a very quick fix for nausea. They definitely only last as long as you have them in your mouth, in my experience, but they did work for that period of time. So for instance, whenever I was like about to go in for a doctor's appointment, I would be very nauseous, especially because I was like really anxious. So I would pop one of these in my mouth and it would just get rid of the nausea for just a little bit. They're basically sour candies. So it comes with sour raspberry and sour lemon. They taste very, very good. So those have been nice. Also for nausea is just a prescription for Zofran. I don't know what I would have done without Zofran. I tried not to take it daily because, you know, it can cause headaches and constipation and stuff like that, which I already kind of had enough of. So I tried not to take it every day, but it was needed a lot of days, especially if I was traveling. I would take one every day. Zofran is a lifesaver. It just completely takes away the nausea. I told my husband, whenever I take a Zofran, I just like within 30 minutes, I feel amazing. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like this is what it feels like to not be nauseous. Like I feel so good. I'm like, I want to eat everything. I'm like, I always like have a very specific craving when I take Zofran. So yeah, I highly recommend if you are feeling really nauseous, talk to your doctor about Zofran. Another thing from Amazon that has been a lifesaver for me is the Pre-Mama Energy Boost Watermelon Drink Mix. I mean, you can get a lot of things to increase your energy. Of course, caffeine, whatever. You should limit your caffeine while pregnant, of course. But this one is a pregnancy safe formula, which is why I got it. And it's kind of more of a natural energy booster rather than caffeine. So these are really nice. I think they taste really good. It's kind of like Liquid IV where it's just like a little packet and you put it into a glass of water. For me, this gave me a boost of energy. I always would have one kind of like in the afternoon, and it just really helped me kind of get a little bit of a pep in my step for the rest of the day. These are great. They're only 10 calories per stick and they really helped me. Some other things that I didn't use a whole lot but could be useful. This one is a prenatal protein formula. If you want to add it to your smoothies, that's what I did. The reason I say it's not super necessary because like I think most protein powders are probably safe for pregnancy, but this one is just going to have a little bit of extra prenatal stuff in there like folate, so that's always good. And this I've heard can also help with morning sickness. I didn't really use it for that, but it's just a vanilla flavor and it is really good. So if you're looking for a prenatal protein, that one is great. Another thing that I didn't use a whole lot, but I did a couple times is this heartburn tea. This I got because I've always had really bad heartburn. I was on a like prescription for Prilosec basically, but during the first trimester, you're not supposed to have Prilosec. So I would resort to options like this. And this did kind of work. Like it definitely took my heartburn away, but it tastes horrible. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't be so bad if you put like sugar in there or something, but it's just one of those things. If your heartburn is bad enough, try this. And if you like tea. Other medications that were really important for me were TUMS. I had heartburn really bad. Like I said, you can take TUMS throughout your entire pregnancy. And then I always carry this with me. This is like a little medicine organizer because I swear during pregnancy, I know you don't want to be taking medicine all the time, but like sometimes you just need it. So I kept Zyrtec in here for allergies, which really has only started happening second trimester. I've been getting bad allergies. Then I have TUMS in here, a stool softener, TMI, but you might need that. So I would just stock up on that. It's a very common symptom and something that I've not really dealt dealt with, but it can be very frustrating and uncomfortable. But Ducolax or Ducalax or however you say it, and milk of magnesia were beneficial, or Colace, stuff like that are all safe. And then I just have Tylenol in there as well. So yeah, getting something like this to take on trips is always beneficial. I will link this down below from Amazon. Let's talk a couple food items that got me through nausea. Saltines were the best. I know it's like so basic, but seriously, I would have to eat saltines in the morning before anything else. Before I even thought about eating anything else, I had to eat a couple saltines just to kind of get something in my stomach so I didn't feel like vomiting. So saltines were a must have. I also loved ginger ale. It was just something different than water, and it also kind of helped the nausea, so that's good. Then two other things that I really found myself liking in the first trimester. One are these smoothie packets from Noka. I love these. They are so good. Patrick calls them like adult baby food, but I don't even care. They're really good. And I honestly, a lot of times in the first trimester, did not feel like cooking, but I knew I had to eat something of nutritious value. So these came in clutch. You can buy a 12 pack on Amazon. They don't even have to be refrigerated. They're just amazing, and they come in all different flavors. So I've still been loving those. Highly recommend. They literally have good ingredients too. Like I look at the back and it's like fruit and stuff. So yeah, absolutely recommend those. And then another thing are the Nature Valley peanut butter biscuits. I'll insert a picture here. These things, I don't know why, but like that for me, like was another great thing if I wanted something more than saltines, but that was still pretty neutral as far as flavoring. That wasn't gonna make me sick. Those were amazing. I would literally pack one of those in my purse no matter where I went. And if I got hungry, I could always just snack on that, because if you get hungry when you're pregnant, that's like when nausea really starts to set in. Those were like really lifesavers. And then the only other thing is just like comfy clothes, big t-shirts like this one. This one that I'm wearing is a butterfly t-shirt from Target. I live in big t-shirts. I just wanted to be comfortable. My body wasn't really growing a whole, I mean, it was growing, but you know what I mean? Like I didn't really start showing until the second trimester, but you're just exhausted and you don't feel like yourself and you're sick. So comfy clothes, big t-shirts were what I lived in, leggings, comfy blankets. I love Barefoot Dreams or any like dupes of Barefoot Dreams. This one is from the Styled collection. I will link it down below. Slippers, of course. These are the ones I've been using lately. They're from Target. These aren't really slippers. They're actually, you could wear them outside or inside, but they are amazing. They're like Sherpa little slides. So just comfy clothes. Treat yourself to a little comfy outfit or something just to make yourself feel better. I promise. You deserve it. But yeah, that is finally everything. I know this was a long video, but I hope that you guys enjoyed it. This little pregnancy first trimester recap and must-haves video. Let me know if you are currently pregnant, how your first trimester went, or where you're currently at, what's going on with you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always for supporting me and my family and my journey to having this little baby girl. I appreciate you guys more than you know, and I'm just so excited to share this experience with you. So anyways, love you so much, and I will talk to you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.